Welcome back to Dropped In. I am beyond grateful to be back here with you today and share a microdose hit of magic and medicine. And I wanted to start today's episode with something that happened yesterday that literally blew my mind. So, Inside Locked In is our Marsh and I's complimentary month-long experience throughout the month of June. And I dropped a training called Design Your Highest Cash Month. And it's so wild because the timing of it couldn't be more perfect. As I sit here recording this episode, I'm currently on track for my highest cash month to date. You literally cannot make this shit up. So, the very thing that I taught yesterday inside of Locked In is the exact thing I'm actively living today. And here's what I really need you to understand. My highest cash month didn't start this month. It started months ago in the decisions that I was making, in the ability to support myself in becoming even more visible. It started in the rewiring of my nervous system in real time. It started in really building the capacity to hold more. And it also started in receiving more support in my business. It also started in becoming the person who is capable of holding what I'm now receiving. Because this is the piece that nobody talks about. Everybody wants the revenue, the clients, the sold out offers, the big launch. But what I find is many people are not asking, who do I need to become to safely hold it? Because here's the thing, if your nervous system cannot safely hold what you're asking for, you'll either unconsciously block it, sabotage it, or create it and lose it. And that's exactly what I want to get dropped into today. Because we are entering the second half of the year next week. And I want you focused on the possibility of creating your highest cash month, the one that changes everything, the one that creates more evidence, the one that shifts your identity forever, the one where you stop wondering if it's possible and start realizing you're already living it. But first, we need to talk about how most people approach their goals. Oftentimes, most entrepreneurs are treating their biggest goals like wishes. They create the vision boards, they write the affirmations, they journal, they script, they do all the things, and then they wait. But your highest cash month isn't something you wait for, my friend. It's something you build. It's engineered. It's supported. It's prepared for. It's embodied. It's rewired in real time. And most importantly, it's inevitable. And so I want you to imagine it's December 31st, 2026. The year is almost over, and you know exactly which month became your highest cash month, and then you replicated it month after month after month. Now, I'm not talking the month you hoped would happen. It's the month that actually happened. And now ask yourself, how much revenue did it generate? What number became normal? What number once felt impossible? What offers were you selling? What conversations were happening? What bold moves were you making? What level of visibility did that month require? How often were you showing up? What version of yourself was leading? And who was supporting you? What systems existed? What did you finally stop carrying alone? How are you protecting your peace, your energy? What became a non negotiable? Because here's the thing, your highest cash month leaves clues. And those clues tell you exactly what needs to happen between now and then. And the challenge, most people are trying to create their highest cash month while operating from survival mode. And let me tell you, survival creates very, very, very different decisions. So, from a nervous system perspective, that's how we roll here. Let's talk about what that looks like. So, fight mode. Fight says, I need to make this happen. So, this is the entrepreneur that's refreshing Stripe 27 times a day, checking sales constantly, pushing, forcing, hustling, overworking, pushing harder every time things slow down. And they attach their worth to revenue. And they also feel responsible for every single outcome. The interesting thing about fight energy is that society rewards it. We call it ambition, discipline, work ethic. But I know what's underneath it is that fear. Fear that if you stop pushing, everything falls apart. And here's what I have learned: you cannot sustainably create abundance from panic. The nervous system eventually sends the bill. And then we have flight. Flight says, what if this doesn't work? This is the entrepreneur constantly changing offers, rebranding, buying another course, another program, another certification, pivoting before the strategy has time to work, jumping from idea to idea to idea, mentor to mentor. Flight creates movement, but movement isn't always momentum. You can be incredibly busy and still be standing in the same place. And then comes freeze. Freeze says, this feels way too big, way too much. This is the entrepreneur who knows exactly what to do and still doesn't do it. They overthink, overanalyze, wait for the right time, wait for certainty, confidence, permission. And what's fascinating is freeze often shows up right before expansion. The visibility starts increasing, the opportunities arrive, the sales start happening, and suddenly the brakes go on. And this is happening because the growth is arriving faster than the nervous system expected. And then there's fawn. Fawn says, I need everyone else to be okay. This one is huge. You can show up in undercharging, over delivering, avoiding boundaries, discounting your work, making decisions based on what everyone else wants, constantly seeking approval. Fawn energy is one of the sneakiest wealth blocks I see, because every time you abandon yourself to keep someone else comfortable, you're training your nervous system that your needs come last. And guess what? Eventually, your business reflects that. Now, here's the important part: the goal isn't to eliminate fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. The goal is awareness, because awareness creates choice, and choice creates freedom. The entrepreneur creating their highest cash month isn't operating from survival. They're operating from self leadership. They're embodied, they're supported, they're visible, and they're available for growth. And they do it by rewiring their nervous system in real time. And they've done this by expanding their capacity to hold more. And this is why I believe capacity is a conversation nobody is having enough. It's why I do the work I do. Everyone wants more. They want more clients, more visibility, more revenue, more opportunities, more impact. But very few people are asking, can I actually hold this? Can I sustain it? Can I lead at that level? Can I receive at that level? Can I support my clients at that level? Can I imagine the emotions and the decisions and the visibility that come with that level? Because if the answer is no, your nervous system will protect you from the very thing you're asking for because it's doing its job. It's constantly scanning for safety. And that's why the work we do inside Locked In over this past month matters so much. We're not just talking strategy, we're looking at the invisible forces shaping your results, the patterns, the nervous system responses, the identity shifts, the capacity expansion, the things most entrepreneurs never address. And the results have been incredible. The messages we're receiving on a daily basis from what these individuals have received inside of Locked In is astonishing. People are realizing they've spent years trying to solve what looked like a strategy problem when it was actually a capacity problem, a nervous system problem, an identity problem. And so, if you've been watching from the sidelines, if you've been telling yourself you'll figure it out on your own, if you've been waiting for that quote unquote perfect time, this is your invitation. Again, Locked In is completely complimentary. Everyone is like, why is this free? It's a month-long experience, 5 audio drops each week, coaching, mastermind calls, nervous system work, subconscious, rewiring, real conversations about what actually creates sustainable growth. And as you listen to this episode, you still have time to join us because the second half of your year doesn't get built in September. It gets built right now. And speaking of the second half of the year, next week, we officially open enrollment for Heartwired CEO. Now, if you're in Locked In, there is a special offering inside of that space until July 1st when we open it up. So if you aren't in Locked In and you want to join Heartwired CEO and you want a special price, make sure to join us inside Locked In. Heartwired CEO is Marsha and I's 12-month mastermind. It's for founders, leaders, individuals who are ready to build a business and life their nervous system can actually sustain. The leaders inside aren't just building revenue, they're building capacity, they're building leadership, they're building lives they don't need to recover from. And for this enrollment, we actually only have, because people are joining us already from Locked In. One person was in Locked In yesterday, was on the mastermind call, and then joined us. So for this round, we only have 4 spaces left that include private one-on-one support. Now you can still join, but once those 4 spots are taken, there's no one-on-one support. So 4, that's it. That's left. So if you've been watching, listening, following the podcast, joining the trainings, taking notes, wondering if this is your season, consider this your sign. because your highest cash month is not built when the money arrives. It's built in the decisions you make beforehand. It's built in the support you choose to receive. It's built in the visibility you're willing to embrace. It's built in the capacity that you cultivate and in the version of you that decides, I'm no longer waiting, I'm creating. And that version of you, she's a lot closer than you think, isn't she? So check out the show notes for Locked In. You can also check out the link for Heartwired CEO. And again, if you want a special price point for Heartwired CEO, get into Locked In to receive it. And so until next time, I will see you either on Locked in the Heartwired CEO Mastermind, or on our next episode of Dropped In.